Hi, it's Micah. These are going to be my favorite of my wands cards, starting with the ace. So this is just cute and silly. The wands are imps, and he has them by his tail. Pretty and sparkly and simple, and I think the wands are cool because they have this little, orb in the middle. They're clubs in this deck, which is interesting. I love these super long unicorn horns and the alligators. I don't know. It's just fun. Focusing more on the element of fire. Nice bonfire there. So this is, reminiscent of the maypole, which I think it's fantastic. Love the colors, love the rising sun here. I think this is a really cool piece. I mean, I'm assuming it's a real item from history. It's just crazy intricate. That'd be cool to know if this background image is actually like the country of origin. Maybe it says in the book. I don't know. The Ace of Wands. I love these foxes. Beautiful card. This is gorgeous. So this could easily be mistaken for the queen, but it is the ace. So beautiful. It's really intricate. Kind of basic, but I like the colors, and I like that the artist drew these swirls in the clouds. So in the Forhaxa, she is, lighting her path, and this is kind of like a break in the realm of the fairy world and like the human mundane world. So she's like starting on that journey. Gorgeous. Love the colors. The wands are represented by cobras and peacocks in this deck. Very pretty lantern with a little fairy creature on it. Got those warm autumn colors. Pretty basic. What I really like about this card is the architecture in the background and like this oil slick type of iridescence. Creepy but interesting. I get the vibe that well, you never want like a sewing needle close to your eyeball, but it's like that spark of creativity when it hits you, This deck is complex, but this card is pretty, so I put it in here anyway, and I love the colors in this. Like, this is me. Look at that. All right. On to the twos. We got the Cobra. So, in this deck, there's like ink mess ups in the background, and I plan on doing some black line work and, editing the cards. Two of Wands, love the kitties. Looking out and barking. So, typically I would say, don't walk outside naked and like plan for an adventure, but I guess if you're a goddess in space, it does not matter. I like this real world vibe going on a hike. This is kind of the point of view that the, like, first person, I guess. So his head is the world. He has, like, kind of, like, smart aleck body language, too, which I think is cheeky. It's simple, but I like it, and I don't know, it feels a little bit more modern. Maybe it's a hairstyle. We got vintage, very elegant. I'm pretty sure this is the only wand card that I picked from the Moonchild. So I think that deck kind of failed me there. It's interesting doing these videos and noticing things like that. This is very colorful and futuristic. All the symbols we need. I think this is merging the veil between like the fairy world and our world to, I don't know, figure out where you're going, pick a portal. Two of Wands. So we usually don't see two figures, which is interesting. This is Pip-like, but beautiful. The bird's like high up on this stake and can just kind of see where to go from there. And I feel like in this card, she's kind of gazing into it, scrying. I think it even says so in the book. You know, looking for that guidance to take her next steps. Three of Wands. This kind of reminds me of you either already started a book or like maybe just got married. Start of something. You made the choice already. This is a different take. This kind of reminds me of, what? Is it the Seven of Pentacles? She's watching the growth. But she's definitely, you know, invested. So this three, she's like walking out onto the cliff and has to trust that this is just going to keep supporting her. Geometric and pretty. So this is like her kicking over the dominoes. Like she already set things up and now they're in motion. Just a pretty painting-like flair to the card. That first person perspective that I like. So this guy to me is holding up the branch like, yeah, like I'm doing it for virtue. I like the sunset or the sunrise. Little bit different than the RWS. Just, well, it's pretty much the same. I don't know. It's a different vibe to me a little bit. Very crazy and futuristic. So they're, you know, holding the map to figure out how to get where they want to go. But they're doing it. They're doing the things. We got some movement in this like airship. Made the decision. It's taking the time to start breaking down those walls. Cute kitty. I like that desert scene. Some beautiful pips here. So in the hush, they figured out where they're going, but everything's not quite settled. They're still figuring things out. They don't get to take that celebratory break yet, which we get to in the 4. And I kind of like her bored expression. It's like they're doing spell work or a ritual, and she's like, okay, you know, I'm ready. Are you ready now? Or are we doing the things? On to the 4. This new home they built. And their heads coming together make a heart shape, and their hands are woven together with ivy, and they're smiling. Happy dancing imps. Look at this moon. So I like that everything's not all set up. I mean, it kind of looks like they're dancing, but to me, they're they're still roping everything together. You know, it might not be completely stable yet. It's not move-in ready, we'll say. This one's a little bit like the four suits coming together, having a little meditation girl time. Super pretty. I love this card. They're dancing around in a stone circle. This is one of my favorites. And then we got dancing skeletons around candles. It's fun. Fulfillment. I kind of dig that there's no people in this card. I feel like if you're reading intuitively, you could take this different ways compared to other cards when reading. Super pretty. I like that they used like a rug as the grass. Pretty peacocks and their babies. I love the simplicity of this four in the hush. It's very simple and elegant. And this one to me, she's just kind of taking that break, you know? We need it. Take that breathing time. The five with the competition. Look at these guys carrying on. I'm going to whack you with this stick. No, I'm going to whack you first. It's funny. This one's kind of sad because they're like hunting the bunny, but you know. Nature got to do its thing. Speaking of, I love this representation of the two bucks fighting over this doe. And in this strife card, all the masks are broken. So when everyone's acting like a jerk, no one really wins. You know what I mean? Like you want to win because you did better, not because you hurt other people. And this just cracks me up because these women are just smacking each other with sticks. And can you imagine seeing that? This one's gorgeous. One of my favorites. She's fighting off all these snakes. It's kind of, you know, 7 or 9 of Wands vibe, but I can work with it because it's absolutely beautiful. We got the pips here. I assume they're either fighting over this little bird, or this one's protecting it and fighting those ones. I'm not really sure. I don't have the book. So we got these snakes battling out over this egg. This one doesn't even realize that those two already have it. Okay, I really like this interpretation of the card because most of the time we don't beat people with sticks when we have a conflict, right? Typically, like we're more likely to have a verbal disagreement and then have to sit with those feelings of like, did I hurt that person's feelings? Did they hurt mine? And then this is a simple pip where they all have different masks on. 6 with the victory. This card's gorgeous. It's the cover of the big book. Look how pretty. The attention to detail is just amazing. So typically we only have one victor, but this one, there's a bunch of imps, and then the one has the cat. So that's interesting. So I assume she's just, you know, really comfortable in her position. This one's a little dramatic, but very pretty. You know, the spotlight's on her. I love the posture and all like the hands because the regular RWS is kind of boring. The people don't necessarily look that excited. But here she looks like a superstar, you know? Or she really won over the people. Really good job on that one. This one's pretty pippy. So we just have the wreath and then the little horsey. We got this person with all these eyes everywhere. But she does have the wreaths adorning her for victory. She doesn't look super happy, but I mean, she doesn't look super smug, so that could be good. I never noticed. All these chairs are empty. So is nobody actually still rooting for her? Wow. I didn't see that. Got a girl with her fox. This one's a little somber to me, but I really like the horse. Look at that horse. It's cool. I don't know. We don't have other people, but I guess she's, on her high horse and she's happy about it and she's bringing all these dead flowers to life. I do like that we have the fire element represented. But yeah, she can't stay like here forever, just blossoming flowers and gloating. So this cat won the seat. So we got this happy peacock on top. This one's a little bit more plain. Riding the bird with the flag. I like the colors in this one. It doesn't scream victory, but meh. The Seven of Wands. So the Deviant Moon takes a different take on this card. It's something about her going through the woods and getting lost, but finding their way out. And you can see like the wounds. So I kind of get I don't know, like Nine of Wands vibes. It's a mama fox protecting her babies. She definitely looks unsure if she can handle, this bombardment. And I feel that. This card is stress and release in a way to me. Like she's protecting her light, but she's naked, so that shows the vulnerability aspect. But she's still doing it. She's consciously pushing the darkness aside. I like that this person's not really prepared. I mean, they're barefoot, they don't have a shirt on or anything, and they're almost looking down like they're, I don't know, not necessarily cowarding, but not able to face it head on yet, but they're trying anyway. This is a cool comic book, fighting style. I don't know what's up with this spaceship, but I like the look on her face. She's very confident, like, bring it, bitch. I like it. This deck is, I don't know, kind of more of an optimistic reader. I like the posture. He's much more confident than, like that one. I like the story behind this card because you don't know for sure if the threat is in her head or if these are real things. Because we make up a lot of situations and anxiety that might not be there. So we got a kitty in the tree. There's, crows maybe pecking at it, some bees. I don't think the butterflies, causing any problems, but Really pretty. And I like how this main snake is rooted. Like, I'm not going anywhere. Very fantasy art. Um, so when I see the plants attacking someone, I always think either Snow White. It's Snow White, right? When she runs through the woods. Or Evil Dead. Evil Dead's pretty messed up, though. The Eight of Wands. The movement. So she's about to cut down these sticks that keep growing back. But this card can also represent a message or, guidance, a new insight. So the bird's possibly warning them, like, hey, don't do that yet, don't take action that you can't reverse. This is just cute. I'm not sure if they know where they're going, but they're flying around. So she's like blowing the little dandelion wishes. And it's interesting because that's very air element in my opinion, and the wands are fire, but it works, and she has her foxes, so look at this guy. He's like, yep, I'm out. He's gonna go do something important. This is just pretty. I like the colors, I like the arrows. This card's kind of boring, but I like the idea of lightning for the swiftness because that has to be one of the fastest natural phenomenons, right? The 8. I like the fox faces. Love the colors in this one. Not sure if they're being sent down or going up, but it doesn't really matter. Once again, we got that letter reference. Flying on the back of these hawks. Diving down. Similar concept. This looks more like a strategic attack, though. Very different take. If anything, this looks stagnant, but I don't know. I kind of take it as kind of like the reversal. Like sometimes you're stuck in that lazy, stagnant stage when you need to be motivated. Like these weeds sprout up and these birds, are chirping and ready to fly. So it's kind of like, I don't know, opposites. I like the colors in this card. It doesn't really represent it very well, other than she dropped the papers and appears to be running by the flowing of her dress, but it's still pretty. We got our Wounded Warrior, Last Stand with the 9. Once again, very different take. So, this little guy's, it's not really a labyrinth, but kind of this never-ending staircase, and they're so burdened by not being able to find their way out that they're taking a break and they're just kind of sulking, but the end's just ahead. They just haven't realized it yet. So this one I love, and it's very, movie time, Last Stand, like in The Witcher, or is it The Wheel of Time? I don't know. When there's all the women fighting. I really like it though. Definitely can sink into this card, make up some stories. Super pretty. I like the posture. All the arrows coming straight for the face, and they don't even look worried about it. Fortitude. So both the man and the fox are showing some wear and tear here, but they're not giving up, and that's what matters. So this card always makes me think of The Descent at the end when they're like climbing out of the cave. Super creepy. This one's really pretty. It's kind of like all that weight on your shoulders type of thing, but you're still there. This is another one of those going through the woods, you're tattered up. You have anxiety about, enemies, but you're gonna still truck forward. We got a wet kitty. I assume he knows he's gonna have to cross regardless, or maybe he already did and he's wet and he's like, wow, that sucked, but I did the thing. That face is just adorable. There we go. You can see the body posture ready to strike. I feel bad for this horse. It definitely looks tired, but it knows it can't give up yet. The war is not over. And this is a beautiful card. I love her facial expression where she's, exhausted but determined. 10 of Wands, carrying that heavy load. I just like that there's a foo dog in this deck because foo dogs are awesome. Silly creepy man carrying them sticks. Look how cute this is. He's like, I dropped one. I don't know if I can pick it up. And the cat's like ready to swat at it like they do. This is literally carrying the weight of everyone else on your shoulders. Much more graceful with her burden there. I enjoy that this kind of has like a double meaning to me. Either she's carrying the weight of all those loads, or she was smart enough to ask for help and is spreading out that burden to make it, obtainable, completable task. More modern and realistic. Beautiful. You can see like the tired eyes, the kind of down expression, and even both her hands are full. Oppression. Got the cracking of the crown. This is hard to see what's going on. It almost looks like they're completely wrapped in bandages, but I don't really know what's going on here. It's visually interesting though. Very pretty card. So I like the concept of this. There's all these letters and I'm not sure if she's intentionally catching them on fire or if it's an accidental like stress response. I don't remember. I haven't read that in forever. So she's carrying dragon eggs. The dragons know that the fairies will take them to safety, and it's a really big burden, but someone is entrusted to do that. This is a kind of twisted card. I get the vibe of, you know, injuring yourself to be able to provide for your children or those that you care for. And wow. She's legit hiding under this kitten. Or maybe she's trying to carry the kitten. But, yeah, I think it's funny. And I love the idea of this for the Ten of Wands. She's legit just like, fuck it, burn the house down. I try not to swear very much, but we've all been there, you know? She's like, I'm not even taking off the dress. Just burn the house, burn everything. I'm done. I like it. Page of Wands. Here we got a pretty nymph. Well, I don't think she's a nymph, but that's the title of the card. Basic but fun. I like the idea that you don't know if how much this creature is influencing him. Expression through music. I really like the colors in this card, and there's cats, so it's a win. And the concept of this person has all these ideas that are just blossoming, exploding really, but you have to be able to focus on one to be able to do anything with that, you know? You can't do a million things at once. Love the fire energy in this. Pretty peaceful, you know? Just chilling. We have some like sexy ferocity going on here. Traditional, but I just like it. I love this princess. She got her salamanders. I wish there were more decks that had Sacred Hearts because I'm obsessed. And she has tigers. And it's pink. And I really like it. And we have the fire here. It's just awesome. Purely aesthetics. I just like the colors. And she got red hair. And I'm about that. We got this little girl with her tiger. Fireball in her hand. Similar concept. So you'll see in comparison to the knight with the snake. Kitty. So she's holding that wand out, kind of figuring out directing that energy. Love the concept of creativity and imagination for this one. And she looks younger. So I get total, like she's gonna turn into like a werewolf vibe. Like that burning, like, I'm ready to do something, but I don't know what it is yet. Or maybe they just haven't, like, started the process. Knight of Wands. I don't really know how I really feel about this card, but it's interesting. Got the Warrior. It's an all-female deck, which I like. This is just funny. He's riding a giant flea, like, rah! Yeah. Kind of gross, but cool. I like the air puffs out of the nose. Got the salamander on the shirt. I like foxes, I like lions, and I like horned creatures, so that's an obvious win for me. This one is gorgeous. So we have like the skulls hanging. She's going forward. She got bats. Like, hello. I think all the knights in the Muse are just horses, but that's cool. I like the fire in the hair and the fireworks. It works for me. I love the colors and his expression. He looks very gung-ho and like happy. Like he doesn't look like he's forced into what he's doing. This might be my favorite. She's riding a giant cat. And she's pretty. And everything's beautiful. Yeah. So that's the Explorer, just so you know. This horse looks silly. And he has a smiley face and it reminds me of Nirvana. Also really like the color and expression on this. So we have the lion, but it's the same type of lion that you see in the Two of Cups and the Lovers cards, which is interesting, like the lion with the wings. We got this knight riding on his fox. This gives me like movie or storybook vibes, but it's okay. Again with that letter. This guy. I feel like this guy sometimes. We got the horse reference. So yeah. In the page, the snake was just like down here chilling, and now she picked it up and is doing something. And the snake's breathing fire, so they I don't know, elevated their relationship and her skills. And it's a cat running with horses and fire, and it's cool. Yeah. Jumping in the air. We got flames. Riding a cardinal. She looks less sure, but she's definitely like well armed for it. And she looks quite slightly insane and very ferocious. She has like blood on her. She's like, I'm gonna go mess some stuff up. And she's about it, so, you know, do your thing. So the Queen of Wands is probably my favorite court card. In this deck, there's a very Aztec reference. She got her a cat and a crow friend and a lion. Very pretty. I love that dress too. This card feels a little bit stagnant, but there's still like, even though it's weird looking, there's still that like erotic sexuality vibe, which I appreciate. I like this feeling of kindness. Again, playing those musical instruments. Laying on the back of a giant lioness in the stars. Yes. I wish there was more, like, action going on in this card, but we do have, like, the third eye illuminated. We got this pretty cheetah. I don't know. Another pretty card with her kitty. Sunflowers. This expression is interesting to me. The cat's like, I don't know. The cat's a little weird, but it's okay. At least she has one. See, she looks much more fierce, right? Like, this is her dominion. This one's cute. That cat is stern. I love the frecklers and the red hair and like the blushing face. She seems maybe a little bit young, but it's okay. This is gorgeous. She has a sphinx instead of your regular cat. And then we have these giant salamanders in the background. This card's absolutely beautiful. And I think there was this tiger rug in the background of the princess as well. Really pretty. This is totally like Angelina Jolie. Look at these Black Panthers down here. Look at that face. Doesn't that look like her? I love it. And I really like how all these women are like cheering her on. I think that's really empowering for a female. I like that she looks a little bit older. She's holding a candle with her heart and heart chakra illuminated. I'm not sure if that's the correct symbol. I don't know them. So very Egyptian vibes going on here. I just like cats and the colors. The colors make me happy. Like this. Interesting that so there's in this deck there's cobras and peacocks. And it's interesting that the queen in this has all these little chicks like looking up at her for like protection maybe or guidance or both. I really like that though. I still I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this card, but the image itself, I like the colors and like the aesthetics of it. And she is super badass. Look at this. She is ready to put on the show. She looks like fierce and confident. She's like in her power. And I think that's one of my favorite things to take away from a Queen of Wands card. All right, lastly, we got the King of Wands. More with that Aztec vibe. I really like the idea of spirit. I like the feeling of family and compassion. Like all the children, look, he's holding their hand, hugging them. It's just very sweet. Cat's hanging out with the lizard. Like, do I poke you? The imp's watching, like, is your cat gonna be a jerk? So she's kind of really laid back, but I guess the male lions are typically more laid back, right? Like they just have to like lay around and like make sure no other men come around. So I kind of get that. It's pretty. So the muse, I like all the fire. I like that it's kind of like the spirit, right? That it's more of a divine being or the ultimate level of that suit that you can get, if that makes any sense. I think it would. I like this guy. Looks realistic, and he got a tattoo, he got salamander. I like that they use like a drier, warmer climate throughout the wands, at least the court cards, which makes sense to me. So I could see him as a king of wands or a king of swords because I kind of get that I don't know, writer vibe. This guy's awesome. Got a salamander. Got a little lion on his stick. All right. So yeah, I don't think I mentioned in this video, but so they have like the clubs for the wands. Um, so it repeats, the playing card suit, which I like. Got the rose back here. Super cool. Salamanders. Giant lion in the background. I don't know if these stars actually line up with the Leo constellation, but yeah. This is just visually interesting. I don't know why there's so many fetuses. Maybe it's like creation, but whatever. Look at this sweet old man. So it's kind of showing like the love, maybe bravery, wisdom, and a little bit of that fire. Egyptian again. Kitty. So yeah, back with that snake energy and the fire for the helmet. And yeah, this is very Interview with the Vampire type of vibe. I like that we have the lions in the background. I wish that the colors used in this card were like more fiery compared to like these cool tones. But if he's a vampire, I mean, he's probably like out at dusk, so I guess that makes sense. Yeah, thank you for watching. I am going to finish doing these. It just takes me a little bit. So, yeah, I'll see you soon. Thank you.